Well, speaking of movies,
We saw a lot of movies.
we did. We were very busy. I think what we can do is we'll talk briefly about Spider-Man: Homecoming now, and then maybe at the end of the show we'll do a brief spoiler talk.
Sure.
Does that sound like a plan?
Sure.
It was fine.
Sure.
It was okay. I would say it was good.
See, and I thought it was great.
No, you're supposed to say
But I'm not
okay.
allowed to say movies are great.
You're
So
supposed
I'm
to-
going to say it was okay.
It was one of the best Spider-Man movies.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely a movie with Spider-Man in it, and it had the Vulture in it.
Yeah, and they made the Vulture not suck.
They did make the Vulture. The Vulture was very good in it.
Yeah, I was like jealous that they couldn't figure out a way to use Michael Keaton in the RoboCop remake as well as they used him in this one. Yeah, I saw it with Ty. Ty really enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, Sabrina loved it. Elliot liked it too. I think Sabrina liked it more than he did. She liked it more than Wonder Woman. So
It seemed really kid-friendly.
It was very kid-friendly. Like,
I mean,
surprisingly-
it's a coming of age movie, you know.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, a lot of it doesn't have nearly as much violence as most of the other Marvel movies. Even though those are like they're not super violent.
Say, as my daughter put it, they do say a lot of swear words.
They say penis a bunch,
and they say shit.
Okay,
which my daughter finds offensive.
See, penis isn't a swear word in our house, so
no, it's not. No, you want to use the real body part words,
right?
Isn't it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's all we talk about around here.
Penises.
Penis.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's more than one now, so.
Right.
But no, Spider-Man though. I think maybe my favorite Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 is really good.
Spider-Man 2 is so good. We just watched it like 3 days before we went to see this.
And you're talking about the Electro one, right?
Yeah, Jamie Foxx is Electro.
What happened in Spider-Man 2? Refresh my memory.
Doc Ock.
Doc Ock. Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus.
Yeah.
And that's a great storyline for Doc Ock.
Yeah, it was a great movie. It was very well made. You could tell Sam Raimi got to make the movie that Sam Raimi wanted to make, and it all came together and was a very good movie.
Yeah. All right, well, I guess
the first Spider-Man movie was really good too, other than, of course, the costume for the Green Goblin.
Yeah, the costume for the Green Goblin does not look good. It does not hold up. It didn't look good then, though, so I don't know.
No, it didn't. It does not hold up. It was that was terrible
bad.
then.
Yeah.
And
I still don't understand how that got that far. Like, at what point was someone like, this looks terrible, but you're like, yeah, but we don't have enough time to make it look not terrible?
Fix it in post.
Yeah.
It'll look fine on film.
Yeah, something like that.
They've learned things since then. Like, at that time, that was so much better than any superhero movie that had been prior to it. I mean, you could point to the Superman or whatever, but that's still it's almost a different genre.
No, I think
when
the first X-Men movie and the first Spider-Man movie were, because they were not terrible, it was almost shocking that they seemed much better than they really were. X-Men 1 in particular. X-Men 1 is okay. I enjoy that movie. It's not great, but when I first saw that movie in 2000, I thought it was mind-blowing that they got the X-Men right in a movie. It seemed unfathomable at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the Vulture villain because he was sympathetic, and I like movies where it's not so cut and dry. I mean, he was definitely the bad guy, no question about it, but he's not like pure evil. And
that's why Spider-Man is good. The Spider-Man universe is good, is that it's got sympathetic bad guys in it.
Well,
like
that's what
Sandman.
they tried to do that in Spider-Man 3, but Sam Raimi wasn't allowed to make the movie he wanted to.
Well, I mean, they did it in Spider-Man 2 as well. I mean, Doc Ock is a sympathetic guy as well.
And Sandman.
A little bit, I mean, Green Goblin's sympathetic as well. Like, not quite to the extreme. He's a little bit crazier, but there's still like some issues there that you can feel for.
Right. He's a dad. Things just sort of kind of went wrong. He didn't mean to go crazy.
Yeah.
Just sort of
the
went
gas
a little crazy.
made him crazy.
Right. It's not his fault. He didn't know it was going to make him crazy.
Yep. Even Harry Osborn is sympathetic.
Yeah, like that's one of the keys to the Spider-Man universe is all the bad guys that are sympathetic.
Yep, except for Mr. Negative.
Well, but he still has a good side.
Mr. Positive.
Still has a positive side.
And I thought Spider-Man Homecoming was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
It has a really good sense of humor.
Without being Deadpool. Like not needing to be a million jokes a minute.
Right.
Not that I love Deadpool as well, but that's not like quite what Spider-Man needs to be.
Right.
Do we want to table any more Spider-Man talk for later?
Yes, because we got a lot to get to.
I feel like we're getting a little.
I could talk about the Spider-Man movie all about.
Yes,
yeah.
That's why I'm moving you along.
All right, next.
Cheapy and I both not together though, but we did both see Baby Driver.
Yes.
You didn't like it? Is that what I saw?
No, I liked it. It was pretty hyped up. So for me, I don't think it lived up to the hype. I mean, I enjoyed watching the movie and I thought it was like pretty well done. I didn't really have any emotional connection to the characters in the movie. So I didn't really care too much about what happened to them, but I liked the style. I know the music is a big focus of the movie, and I personally don't really care for the songs that were featured in the movie. So that probably affected my enjoyment.
You mean it wasn't electronica bullshit?
No, I mean, I didn't even know those songs.
I think that's kind of the point, though. You don't have to know the songs.
I know, but like I know a lot of classic rock and things like that. Like in Guardians of the Galaxy, I knew all the songs. This one I didn't, and it's hard. You don't get into it as much if you don't know the songs, I feel.
All right.
Also, for a movie that features cars and high speed driving, the cars were pretty boring.
Well, I think that's the point. He's not supposed to be driving conspicuous cars.
I know. I'm just airing the grievances.
That's fine. No, I think you just have never said you liked a movie in 8 years.
It was fine.
I liked it. I thought it was great. But I didn't like The World's End, and I think this was a nice palate cleanser after the Cornetto trilogy. So
I like The World's End.
I don't dislike it. I just, I don't know. It's not as good as Hot Fuzz or Shaun of the Dead.
I love Jamie Foxx in it. I thought he was the best
I like John
Hamm
in it. I thought was great too.
He was fine. He was a little too cartoony for me, while Jamie Foxx was
not cartoony.
I mean, he was just like he was
Jamie
so
Foxx
scary.
Is always cartoony.
He was scary. He was just more straight up scary, I thought.
I won't argue with you on that.
He was bringing the electro vibe.
Definitely had that electro vibe.
He did not have that electro vibe. He was like laser focused, intense. He was the character that I thought was the most interesting.
I would say there's definitely a lot of the Edgar Wright, you see what I did there kind of stuff in that movie too, where it's like, I'm going to show you this for 8 seconds at the beginning of the movie, and aren't you going to be surprised when it comes back at the end? And he did that like 10 times. So
yeah. It was. I enjoyed it. It wasn't my favorite. I would recommend it, but I guess maybe it was a little just too hyped up, in my opinion.
I still want to see it.
Yeah,
you should see it. You'll like it. It's great. It's great. You'll like it.
It's fine. It's good.
It's great.
It's okay.
I haven't seen this movie, but someone saw Get Out.
Yeah, we rented. Ms. Cheapy and I rented Get Out. Now I
want to see that movie.
That was great. That was super great. I managed to avoid all the trailers and everything, so I didn't really know anything about it, except it was directed and I think written by Jordan Peele. From Key and Peele. Just a great thriller, not necessarily a horror movie, but just a tense thriller that's also funny, but definitely not a comedy. I didn't see the twist. Some people saw it. I wasn't necessarily trying to figure it out while I was watching it, but I don't know. Mrs. Cheapy and I both thought that was exceptional. So I would totally recommend renting that or checking that out as if you're in the mood for a really good thriller.
Cool. I watched all 4 episodes of Castlevania on Netflix.
You watched 2 more than I did then.
Yeah. Well, they had it. Anything that I could download on Netflix to watch on the train, there's a good chance I'll finish it. Like Iron Fist is not downloadable, so I never finished it.
I heard it was good.
It's not terrible.
Castlevania?
Yeah.
You got to like anime to.
I mean, I'm middle of the road on anime. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I mean, I liked it. I thought I was entertained.
Oh, okay. Because I mean, I don't seek out anime, but I definitely have enjoyed anime in the past.
Yeah, it is not safe for children in any way, shape, or form.
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, children must be asleep to watch it.
That's fine.
It just seemed like it was trying to do, I don't know, like a lot of shock stuff, and it was like, I don't know, this isn't really hitting for me.
And maybe you're maybe you like, I don't know, you don't hate all Christians, because I think that was the point of it.
Well,
like all Christians are terrible. Isn't that what?
That's
what I got from it.
It could have been a little bit of that,
just like implanting some of my own beliefs into the show.
No, there's definitely some of that, because it was like it's a little heavy-handed here. I don't know. It just didn't do anything for me. I thought it was just kind of like drawn out. It's kind of boring for like being so violent.
For something that's less than 2 hours in total runtime. It felt like the pace could have picked up a little quicker. Like they should have.
It felt like I wanted to skip to the game.
Yeah, like the end of the last episode should have happened in the middle of these 4 episodes. I agree with you there, and it does pick up in the 3rd and 4th episodes have more game related.
The second
stuff.
episode is boring.
Yeah, exactly.
Any boobs in this movie? Any animated boobs?
Yeah. Yep.
Are there? I don't remember seeing any.
Sure. There had to have been.
I will probably watch this with Mrs. Cheapy.
If they were there, they might have been severed off.
I like when Shipwreck was discussing it in our little chat. You said that you would be embarrassed if Mrs. Shipwreck walked in while you were watching it.
No, she was in the room while I was watching it, but she was just like on her phone, like doing her own type of thing, and would like look up like from time to time, like, "What are you watching?" Like, I know this is research. Let's just
leave it at that.
Right.
I mean, it's not great, but I enjoyed it. That's what I would say about that. And it also makes it like I'm watching it, and the other thing I'm thinking about in the back of my head is, why isn't there like where's a great Castlevania game, and why haven't they been able to make one?
They have.
Those last few have been okay.
Just okay. I mean,
last 2? No, they were good.
There's no reason why there isn't, like, when we talk about the greatest games of all time, that there isn't like some Castlevania game that's never been made that should have come out within the last 5 years. That's one of the greatest games of all time. Like, the core is there to make that game, and yet I feel like there's like wasted potential somewhere.
I think those games might be Dark Souls.
Is it Dark Souls? Is that the heir to Castlevania?
I think it might be.
I don't know.
Well, it's certainly not a 2D platformer.
No, I don't think it'd be a 2D platformer either.
No, I'm saying Dark Souls isn't. Mm-mm. You could make like a Metroidvania. I mean, Castlevania is Metroidvania. Castlevania.
That's where the phrase comes from.
I know. So I don't know that it would be like Dark Souls per se.
I don't know.
Well, but it got away from that when it went 3D and everything. Like I think you could
translate. Like,
oh yeah, I played those modern ones. It didn't really do it for me.
I mean, it's a guy with a whip fighting monsters. I was thinking that God of War is the modern day Castlevania.
Well, they modeled the modern day Castlevanias off God of War.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I did. But I think God of War is a better Castlevania game than the modern Castlevania games.
Yes. While we're still doing Watch This, bitches, on the airplane, I needed to watch some stuff on the airplane, so I watched The Accountant. Are you familiar with that film?
I am. I have not seen it, but I am familiar.
Did you see the Amazon review from the guy who says, I am a licensed CPA, and I give this film 1 star because there was no accounting in it?
That's not true, though. There is accounting in it. There's plenty of accounting.
I don't care.
Do you know the plot of the movie?
Ben Affleck is an accountant assassin guy.
Let me just tell you the plot of the movie in 5 seconds. He is an autistic accountant. He's autistic, and he's the best accountant in the world, and he's the best killer in the world. And he's autistic. And that is the plot of the movie, basically. So apparently it was successful, and they're making another one. It's a good movie to watch on an airplane. I will say that for sure. It's like that perfect airplane movie. You just, you got nothing else to do, and it's watchable. But boy, is that can you imagine, like, they greenlit that? Like, that's the gist of the movie right there. We saw I guess it's not a Broadway show because it's not on Broadway, but it's a show in New York City called Sleep No More. Have you heard about this? Mm-mm. There's no seats in the show. Basically what they did is they took about 100,000 square feet of warehouse space and decorated it to make a small town and like these various creepy locales. And they put on a show. It's based on Hamlet, I guess, where the actors are performing, and you can just walk right up to them and like stand right in their face while they do their thing. It's
primarily based on Macbeth.
Macbeth, I'm sorry, not Hamlet. Excuse me, Macbeth, for sure.
You are so uncultured, it's pathetic.
I maybe would have understood what was going on if it was based on Hamlet. But I had no fucking clue what was going on at any point in the show. You walk around throughout the whole thing, and you can explore this huge, 100,000 square feet. That's a big fucking space right there. And everything is decorated like really, really well and creepily and spookily. So they have like a haunted hospital, maybe not haunted, but like just a scary looking old timey hospital, graveyard, all, offices, doctors' offices, all kinds of stuff that you can walk through and explore. And you can follow the actors around as they're doing their little routines. Everybody in all the spectators are wearing masquerade style masks, like Eyes Wide Shut. So it's pretty and it's super dark in there. I thought like the concept was really cool, but Mrs. Cheapy and I had no idea what was happening at all throughout the 2 hours or so that the thing went on.
Do you get to keep the mask?
Yes. They do not recycle the masks.
So you have you have two creepy masks?
Yes, I do.
That's awesome. Have you used them at home yet?
How would I use the mask? You mean in like a sexual way?
Yeah, I am not telling you how to use the mask.
That's fine. I'd rather look at my wife than look at the mask. Now I can't say the same for her, but
now now that Ty's home, have you gone into his room at 2 a.m. just shaking him and going, "Do you like the mask? I got it. I got more."
Yes, with a chainsaw and brownies. I heard that Justin McElroy they designed the show that you go back and see it multiple times to try to figure out what's going on. And apparently Justin McElroy has seen it 8 times, according to somebody on my Twitter. But I can't imagine you would still understand what was going on, even if you saw it 8 times. I know you would have spent close to $1,000 to do that, but I don't think you'd be any closer to understanding a story per se. But I do like the concept, and I don't know. It was that part was interesting. I don't like my main problem with Broadway shows is that I don't like sitting in a chair designed for ants for 2 hours. And this, solves that problem by having you walk around. Woo! That was a lot of talking about things that we watched.